When you think of a princess, daughter of a king, living inside a grand palace, you imagine she's probably the safest person in the entire world, right? Well, the story we're about to dive into, it takes that idea of safety and turns it on its head with a really, really unsettling question.
What if the greatest danger wasn't lurking out there in the shadows?
What if it wasn't beyond the castle walls at all?
But what if it was inside, sitting at the same table, living under the very same roof, a part of her own family? This is the story of Tamar, and it's a story about betrayal, power, and a silence that, believe me, still echoes today.
So, let's set the scene. Our story begins in the very heart of power and privilege, inside the palace of King David.
Now, Princess Tamar, she was known for her grace, her honor. She was royalty. You'd think she was completely protected. But that protection, it was really just an illusion. Because in that exact same palace, her half-brother, Amnon, was being consumed by this dark, secret obsession with her.
And look, we have to be crystal clear about something right here. This wasn't love, not even close. See, love respects, it honors, it protects. What Amnon was feeling, that was pure obsession. It was this selfish, all-consuming desire to possess, and it was literally making him sick.
And this brings us to such a critical point, a truth that is just as real today as it was back then. Not everything that feels intense is love. Sometimes what looks like this overwhelming passion is really just a desperate need for control.
So with this obsession just festering inside him, Amnon doesn't push it away, oh no. Instead, he goes looking for advice. And the advice he gets? It isn't a warning to stop. It's a strategy, a game plan. His friend, a guy named Jonadab, lays out this chillingly simple 3-step plan. Step 1, pretend to be sick. Step 2, use the king's sympathy to ask specifically for Tamar to come take care of you. And step 3, the final, most important step, isolate her. Get her alone.
This just highlights such a chilling reality. Bad advice, it doesn't usually show up looking obviously evil, right? More often than not, it comes from someone you think is a friend, and it doesn't sound evil at all. It just sounds clever.
And just like that, the trap is set. King David, being a trusting father, he grants the request. And Tamar, being a caring sister, she goes to help the brother she thinks is genuinely in need, completely unaware of what she's really walking into.
And isn't that just the insidious thing about so many dangerous situations? They don't come with warning signs. They wear familiar faces. They feel safe. Sometimes, they even feel like family. So Tamar enters her brother's room to take care of him, and right away he tells everyone else to leave. And in that one moment, once they're totally isolated, the whole act just falls apart.
And then, in an instant, everything changed.
But faced with this aggression, Tamar doesn't just freeze up. She speaks. She uses her voice, resisting with logic and incredible wisdom. She pleads with him, "Don't do this. This is wrong." She's trying to appeal to his reason, to his honor, telling him to think about the consequences for both of them. He doesn't listen, and what happens next is this just shocking psychological turn. The second his desire is fulfilled, that all-consuming obsession he felt, it's gone, vanished. And in its place, this equally intense hatred rushes in. The same man who claimed he loved her so much he couldn't live without her, now despises the very sight of her.
And that just lays bare a really hard truth, doesn't it? Some people don't love others, they only love what they can take from them. And once they have it, the person themselves become worthless in their eyes.
So Amnon just throws her out, utterly broken and humiliated. And as Tamar walks away from that room, her life completely shattered, she isn't met with justice. She's met with advice. Advice that's going to seal her fate.
Her full brother Absalom, he finds her and takes her in. But his words, they're not comfort, they're a command. Be quiet for now, he says. He is your brother. And right there, the first layer of silencing begins.
Does that sound familiar? I mean, really, think about it. That kind of advice is still being handed out today, isn't it? Don't speak. Protect the family name. Just let it go. She was told to just carry this impossible burden in private.
So what about the person with the most power to do something? What about her father, the king? Well, the story tells us King David heard what happened, and he got very angry. But that was all.
Just anger. It led to nothing. No justice for his daughter, no confrontation with his son, zero consequences.
And this might be the most dangerous lesson in the entire story. When those in power stay silent, when they choose to do nothing, they're not just failing to stop injustice, they are actively helping it grow stronger.
Look, this story isn't just some ancient tragedy we read about. It's a mirror, and it forces us to ask some really uncomfortable questions about our own world right here, right now. Because here's the thing about silence. It is never neutral. It always protects someone. And in this story, the silence from her king and her brother, it didn't protect Tamar, the victim. It protected Amnon, the perpetrator. It protected the family's public image.
Tamar's story wasn't just written down to be forgotten. It's here for a reason. It stands as this permanent reminder that our actions and our inaction have consequences. It's a challenge, really, to every single one of us to make sure in our world, in our families, in our communities, that voices like Tamar's are heard, that they are protected, and that they are never, ever silenced again.